Here's a wild tour story. I was actually overseas. I was on tour with Bastille. The craziest shit is I was getting all these tweets from like this account that didn't have a face. It was just like a fucking egg. And it was writing me like thousands and thousands of tweets a day, like documenting everything that he was doing, from like breathing but thinking about you, like blah, blah, blah. Can't wait to see you here, there, blah, 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 whatever. So like, one, I'm creeped out. So I tell my manager, I'm like, yo, like something's going on. This is weird. This guy knows like way too much, blah, blah, blah. One night after a fucking show, I get on my tour bus, dude. It's pouring down rain, and I'm just getting all these tweets. Look outside the window. Look out in the fucking street is this guy standing there. And like we found out that he had like just gotten out of jail that day to come to my concert, like because he was like in love or something. Dude, I stood there just crying. I was like, please, somebody get this nigga before he kills me. But he was like some like random strange white guy. Anyway, long story short, my managers, they go like, don't worry about it. I don't know what happened to him, but like disappeared out of thin air. This is like the craziest shit that has ever happened to me. Like, it was weird. So here's a wild tour story. It happened in the same week as the one that like with the other stalker sort of situation. So I meet this girl who like the fans queue up outside of venues before you come. So I'm taking pictures with all these different people, and there's this girl who's like incredible looking, like phenomenal. She comes up to me and she makes it like a point for her like to let me know that she wants to like, you know, fuck me. And I'm like, cool, well that's nice, like great. And so like I'm like, okay, I've got to go into sound check. And so like I come back out and she's like waiting by my bus. And so like I get on the bus with her. All my boys are back there like that are from the band and like my homies and shit. And they're like, yo, who the fuck is this bitch? She's fine as fuck. So everybody's going ham trying to get at her. And I'm like, hey, no. Like, no. So we go out into the front. Obviously, push comes to shove. It all happens. Turns out her girlfriend is one of my biggest fans in the entire world, bro. Like, it went live. Like, I fucked this girl and everyone on Twitter was talking about it. Like, how I broke up their relationship, how I blah, 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 this, that, and the third. It was savage. She was posting screenshots of like nudes she sent me and like crazy shit. I was like, oh. And that's when I decided never to fuck fans again. So like ever. It was just the weirdest shit, dude. But she was fine. She was like stacked. It was incredible. My tour right now has been filled with tits. Like if you go on my Instagram, all you see is my face next to big ass titties. So like my thing is I like nurturing. If I like girls, I like girls. If I like boys, I like boys. Like all the way down on the end of like the manliest man you can think of and the girliest girl you can think of. And so like that's just me. I think I was dating models for a long time and they're like stick figures. And then I dated one person who was like, what, like a C or a D? And I was like never going back to that, like ever. So that's what it is for me. I don't like flat asses. Like no, it has to be a proportionate body. Like that's my thing. Like if you don't do squats, I can't fuck with you. If you can't squat down the hallway, what the fuck you doing with your life? What's going on?
They didn't want me to drop 100 Million Roses because Rocky was dropping Goldie the same week. And I said, what my shit got to do with Rocky stuff? I said, man, I need to drop something soon. I'm like, they seeing these freestyles on the radio. I'm like, Rocky said already. I'm ready to go.
He was just playing all this shit that he'd never released, and this shit is just crazy. It's blowing my fucking mind. He's playing shit he did with Mary J. Blige, shit he did with other rappers, shit with Redman he didn't release, shit with other rappers he once was signed with, and the shit was just like mind-blowing. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
I don't know, can I say this on here? The joke of all these sessions were D's nuts. So like we would catch each other all the time with D's nuts. Like, yo, you wouldn't believe who just called me, bro. Like, and he'd be like, who? And I'd be like, D's nuts.
This whole rap thing, I know it's for me because it's the only thing I've stuck with ever. Like it's the biggest commitment I've ever made in my life where I did it and I have not stopped. Like, and I've never been like, this isn't for me. Like it's always been for me. Like everything else I tried growing up,